Hi everyone, and welcome back to Ion Harness Racing Weekend Review. I'm Heather Dodds. It was a Team Takter weekend at the Meadowlands for trainer Jimmy Takter, as we saw both the $1,006,125 Hambletonian and the $500,000 Hambletonian Oaks won by horses hailing from his barn. However, in each race, the Takter trainee heading to the winner's circle was a surprise. Trixton captured the 89th Hambletonian in 1:50.3, the second fastest time in the history of the race. Driven by Takter, Trixton was up against two of his stablemates, Nuncio and the heavily favored Father Patrick. After Father Patrick broke stride out of the gate, along with Don Kango and Datsuyuk, it was Nuncio in the lead with Royal Ice trailing behind. It seemed to be a race between Nuncio and Royal Ice at the half, but at the three-quarters, Trixton was able to gain ground ahead of Royal Ice, heading down the stretch with Nuncio and finally gaining a half length on Nuncio to seize the win.
Two Hall of Famers going at it, Campbell and Takter, and Trixton is prevailing on the outside. Nuncio trying to battle back. A distant third is his Sonia Dream. Trixton, Jimmy Takter, it's a Taktertonian!
No, I gotta say Nuncio fought me very hard, it's like, I'm not that good driver like John is, it's tough to outdrive a guy like John, in the stretch. And I know John wanted this win pretty darn bad too, so, it was a long stretch, but, I felt it, and then, 50 yards before the wire, your head started spinning. Then I'm by him, is something going to go wrong here?
At the end of the stretch, I thought I had, a good chance to hold on, but mid-stretch, his horse was just too strong, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to get back up in time to beat him.
You feel happy because, I've had a great day, I won 5 races, 5 stakes races, the Hambletonian Oaks, but, no offense to any of the owners that own those 5 horses, I would trade them all for Father Patrick. He's always a big favorite and always had decent posts, and I just float out of the gate, and I knew today that floating out of the gate wasn't going to work, so I scored him down hard to get his attention, and obviously that didn't work. He spooked a little bit, I touched him on his tail with the whip, and that tipped him off.
In the Hambletonian Oaks, Lifetime Pursuit, driven by Yannick Gingras, pulled off an upset over her stablemate Shake It Carry and favored Designed to Be to win in a world record 1:50.4 on Saturday. The time broke the previous world record by a 3-year-old filly trotter of 1:51, set by Be a Magician. Coming off the final turn, Shake It Carry led, with Lifetime Pursuit sitting behind her and Heaven's Door on the outside. Lifetime Pursuit powered to the front and pulled away, with Gingras punching the air triumphantly well before the finish line. Designed to Be was second, Take the Money was third, and Shake It Carry wound up fourth.
What's it like sitting behind this horse?
It's just been a pleasure. I've sat behind her even before the baby races last year, so to see her evolve like this definitely feels good. And this is the biggest stage, so it was awesome.
Takter is the second trainer to win the Oaks and the Hambletonian in the same year. Armbro Goal and Nan's Catch were trained by Jan Johnson in 1988. Also at the Meadowlands on Saturday, the early battle for Horse of the Year honors continued between a pair of older standardbreds. The 8-year-old trotter, Sebastian K, sailed right to the finish line to win the $300,650 John Cashman Jr. Memorial for older trotters. Timed in 1:50, Sebastian K tied the all-age world record for a mile track set a week earlier by Archangel in the Cashman Elims. Trained by Aki Svanstedt, Sebastian K has now earned $502,603 in 2014, with total lifetime earnings of $2.79 million.
Did you do anything different besides the shoes?
No. He was in the paddock all week, that's the only thing. He never had a harness on all week.
Fantastic attention, much more than I ever thought actually. So they're following it, and we have already like 20 SMS text messages congratulating, and it's out on Twitter.
In the $257,700 U.S. Pacing Championship at the Meadowlands, Sweet Lou posted his 8th straight win in 1:47.2. With Ron Pearson the bike and starting from post 7, Sweet Lou was able to move to the front by the half, and from there was never threatened. State Treasurer pulled out from second in the stretch but could not catch up with Sweet Lou, ending up 1.5 lengths behind to finish second, with Thinking Out Loud finishing third. It was Sweet Lou's 5th consecutive win in less than 1:48, which is the most by any pacer in history.
Me and him learned to figure out each other a little bit. I wanted him to do it my way, and he didn't want to do it my way, and I've bent my rules for him, and he seems to, respond to it. He doesn't need the work that my other horses need. You know, this is his only, next week he'll race at Hoosier. It'll be his only 3 weeks in a row of the year.
Right.
My other horses, I wouldn't think anything about asking him to race 3 weeks in a row, but he doesn't, that's not his thing. He doesn't want to do that.
The opening race on the Saturday Meadowlands card saw Classic Martine capture the Imalula for 4-year-old trotting mares in a world record equaling 151-1. Driven by Tim Tetrick and trained by Chris Oakes, Classic Martine had to battle it out with Be a Magician in the final quarter mile, winning by a neck.
She was a really, really good horse last year. Could not beat Be a Magician as a 3-year-old, and we quit with her, sent her down to Pinehurst, North Carolina at Chris Coyle's farm, brought her back, and she just come back a whole lot better, you know, this year. I think she matured, and she's really got her game on right now, so I'm glad for that.
Yet another record was set in the weekend's events, this time in the $355,500 Peter Haughton Memorial for 2-year-old male trotters. Centurion ATM prevailed by 3 3/4 lengths over Uncle Lassie, finishing in a stakes and track record 153-2 at the Meadowlands. Our own Gigi Diaz was at the new Meadowlands over the weekend to capture the happenings both on and off the track.
As you already know, what's special about this Handball Day is that it's the first one at the new grandstand in the Meadowlands. Here's what our guests had to say.
It's got the 3 stories here, and you got fabulous views from anywhere you stand.
It looks like the inside is nicer.
I like that it's just brand new. Like the bar area with the big TV is really nice, so it's nice.
So we've got another first-timer to the Hambletonian. How do you like it so far?
It's good. It's the first time I've been to the grandstand here, so yeah, no, it's very nice.
It's nice and clean, cleaner than the other side, and everybody's having a good time here, and the Hambletonian's the best.
It's very quaint and cozy. That's probably what sums it up.
As you can see, this new grandstand has brought a fresh feel to the Hambletonian, in addition to first-timers.
Thank you, Gigi. Be sure to join us on Thursday as Paul Ramlow takes a look at the Dan Patch Invitational at Hoosier Park on Eye on Harness Racing Weekend Preview. And remember to follow us on Facebook and Twitter and catch all the latest news on ustrotting.com. And starting Monday, August 25th, the USTA offices will relocate to a temporary headquarters at 2720 Airport Drive in Columbus, Ohio, 43219. For more information on this relocation, please visit ustrotting.com. And you can follow me on Twitter with Heather_USTA. See you next time on Eye on Harness Racing Weekend Review.